Hello, my name is Sean, and I'm going to teach you some guitar. I think the thing that's going to be different about what I'm doing as to what you'll see on the internet is that we're going to have fun. I'm kind of a goofy guy, and I'm going to teach you how to play guitar, get you playing quickly so that you can enjoy it. I'm not going to bog you down with a bunch of nonsense. Okay, now by saying that, it doesn't mean that we're not going to learn things like chords and theory and music knowledge. It just simply means that that's not all we're going to learn. A lot of teachers want to teach you the fundamentals of like note reading. There's no comparison between note reading and playing music. If that was the case, there would be no Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder. So enough on my philosophy. As the lessons progress, we're going to be doing segments, and slowly, as the lessons go on, you'll get better and better and better, and you'll learn more and more. And I'll direct you to so that you can play what you want to play in the shortest amount of time and have fun. I got a simple little rule of thumb that I use to tell my students, and it's patience, practice, persistence. If you do those three things, you'll get better, I promise, and we're going to enjoy this. So that being said, why don't we jump right in and start learning. First thing we're going to do is we're going to learn about the parts of the guitar. Now, as you can see, I'm playing what's called an acoustic guitar. Acoustic guitars are different than electric guitars, and if you don't know this, then okay, I'll tell you. So acoustic guitars they have a hole in them, and the sound vibrates around in its body, and you don't have to plug it in. It's kind of like the campfire guitar. They generally have steel strings. If they have plastic or soft like catgut strings in the old days, those are what's called classical guitars, and that's for more like Spanish, flamenco, classical style guitar. And then obviously the electric guitar is the one you plug in that everyone wants to play. You know, and you get the crunchy sound, and you play your rock songs or whatever. We'll talk more about that at a later date. We're going to start with the acoustic, and I'm going to show you the parts of the guitar. So we'll start with the strings, because that's pretty important. You have 6 strings on your guitar, and from low to high, you can number them, and sometimes you'll see them numbered as 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They also have names. The note name of each string is as follows. The low E string, which is also the 6th string. The A string, which is also the 5th string. The D string, which is also the 4th string. The G string, which is also the 3rd string. The B string, which is also the 2nd string. And the E string, or high E string, which is also the 1st string. Now the next thing we'll talk about that's important is the frets on the guitar. Now as you can see, there's these metal bars that are running under the strings. Those are the frets. So they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., up the guitar. Now, acoustic guitars have less frets than electric guitars. Generally, they only have like 20, 19, something like that. Electric guitars have usually anywhere from 21 to 24 frets. These little dots underneath the strings on the fretboard, they're called dummy dots. You also see them on the edge of the guitar here. What those are is they're indicators when you're playing, so you can just glance down and kind of have an idea of where you're at position-wise. The deal with the frets is, it's the motion of putting your finger and pinching the string behind it which actually makes the note. So for example, putting my first finger on the low E string at the 1st fret and striking that string creates this sound. Now if you're too close to the fret, you'll get this, a buzzing. If you're too far away, you'll also get buzzing. So the idea is to be right behind the fret, not on it, not too far away. Now the next parts we have are not as important. This thing that runs underneath the strings right here is called the nut. These are called the tuning pegs or machine heads. Down here, this is the bridge, and this thing running under here is this saddle. And that's really about it to get started. So, you know, one of the things we got to talk about is proper way to hold the guitar. And the idea is you want the neck of the guitar to be at a 45-degree angle. You want to kind of keep your thumb hidden. It can creep up a little bit, but if it's over the top, you limit your range of motion. You kind of are almost making a fist. So the thing with positioning with your hand and the left hand is that you want to keep your thumbs, when you're playing single note runs, kind of centered and low on the neck. It allows you to make a wider stretch. Your thumb creeps over the top. It's okay for some chords and bends, but if you're doing it and you're trying to play like wide stretches, it limits your hands because you're making a fist. So remember, when you want to do single note runs, keep your thumb low, kind of spread things out and relax your hand. It'll take some time to get loose so that you can do this. Okay, so don't get frustrated. So with your right hand, what you want to do is kind of rest your forearm on the edge of the guitar, relax your wrist. I'm using a thumb pick like I said earlier, but it's not necessary. You can use a regular pick. You hold it between these two fingers or these two fingers and just kind of relax, and you just, when you're strumming it's loose and like this. When you're picking individually, you just kind of focus on the string. Now let's talk about tuning. Now in order to start playing, we got to make sure our guitar's in tune. I usually tune by ear to myself or my wife, since I don't play a lot of cover songs anymore. But if you're practicing and playing cover songs, you want to tune to the song. One way to do it is if you know what the key of the song is in, or if you know one of the chords, you can tune to that. So for example, if you tune to Hell's Bells off of Back in Black by AC/DC, that's tuned to standard concert pitch for guitar, which is A440. And so you'd start with, since it starts with an A note, is you'd hit the A, and you tune it down here until the notes matched up. You'll hear vibrations between them. When they're dead on, you know you're in tune. So once you get that note in tune, you can tune the rest of the guitar. So let me show you how you would tune the guitar, assuming that you have the A note in tune. So you have the A note. Now what we do is we backtrack and get the E note in tune. So we put our finger, any finger, at the 5th fret on the E string and play those two and try to match them up. Now, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to take something off the internet, such as Hell's Bells, which we talked about, which will get the A string in tune, and then from there we can tune the rest of the guitar. So I'm going to play it, I'm going to listen to the A string, and then I'm going to tune it from there. After the bell intro, in a minute here, we'll hear the A string come in. And it did now. So there's that A. And you can hear how we're out of tune. So there's a vibration. So I'm going to tune the A string, which is the 5th string. There we go. So now that we got the A string in tune to AC/DC's Hell's Bells, I'm going to show you how to tune the rest of the guitar from there. Alright, so now that we have the A string in tune, what we're going to do is we're going to get the low E string in tune. To do that, we're going to play the A string and then play the E string at the 5th fret together. So, and they should match. Now if they're off, like if the E string was off at the A, because the A is in tune now, so we don't want to touch the A string. So if they're off, which you can hear, you tighten slowly the low E string to get it in tune like this. And you hear how the vibration's gone. Now what we do is we go to the 5th fret on the A string, and we're going to play that A string and the open D string and match those two. We're going to tune the D string to match that pitch, if they're off, which they're not, because I already got my guitar in tune. Now next we're going to do the same thing. D string, open G string. Then on the G string we go to the 4th fret to the B string. And then 5th fret on the B string. And match the E string. And we're in tune.